Hello, Ray Phoenix here. Welcome to Let's Play Ori no Ryouri. I'm the chef, part 4. We're going after this robot copy of ourselves. I guess that's what that villain was planning earlier, building a robot doppelganger of us. I just noticed that this art style in this game, it looks very much similar to a lot of art styles we saw in the 2000s in shows like My Life as a Teenage Robot, Robot Boy, and possibly more shows from that era. A lot of them have that kind of like aesthetic, that kind of look to them, and this game definitely has that. I wonder if that's where I wonder if this game is secretly where the 2000s popular art style came from. There's a guy clearly eats at his own restaurant, explains why he's, pretty bulgy. He wouldn't fit through a vent shaft easy. He gets stuck in there. Imagine if bad guys took over the restaurant, the only way to escape was through the vents. He'd be dead in a matter of seconds. But we're going to be working in his restaurant, this Italian, I guess it's an Italian restaurant or something like that. We're going to be making all the best Italian foods you could muster, especially foods like pizza and this weird sausage egg thing. And we got to hammer the meat on there too with a meat tenderizer, and then put some salt on it and cook it. Cooking steak. I imagine the steak will get like more brown as it progresses, but it stays red for the entire time, so it's impossible to tell what kind of steak we're actually serving to them. Are we actually cooking the steak, or is it supposed to be medium rare, or well done? Or maybe it's steak tartare, like when Mr. Bean went to that restaurant for his birthday. And he got the steak tartare and he hated it so much that he cut it up into little pieces and hid it all over the restaurant. He even put some into a woman's purse. And they copied that joke in the Mr. Bean's Holiday movie. I guess they figured all Americans have never seen the real episodes of Mr. Bean. They just had to copy it in his own movies. This is also a weird food too, this omelet thing. This is sort of omelet. We have to use eggs as well too for this. Yeah, eggs. This game seems to love throwing eggs. It's like the game knew making eggs is such a big challenge. If I'll just throw eggs at them as much as we can, yeah, they'll never beat the game. There's no way a kid would seriously beat this game. And again, I don't think this game was made for kids. But again, I don't think a lot of games in the 90s were really made for kids. Like Crash Bandicoot wasn't really made for kids. That's a pretty obvious fact at this point. So were a lot of other games from the time. PlayStation did have the reputation for being an adult system, so I guess it's living up to its reputation. And games in Japan tend to be quite difficult, at least in my experiences. A lot of other people's experiences they are. But then again, Japan's also made some pretty easy games too. Most notably, games like Jumping Flash, and even the Japanese version of Crash Bandicoot was a lot easier. It's not a Japanese game. It's a similar idea. Always have to go with precision. If you're doing surgery, I imagine they can make a surgery game like this. You have to perform surgery on people and move the analog sticks in very precise ways. And you instantly get reviews simply by, does your patient survive or does he die? Yeah, if you have the precision to make eggs in this game, maybe you should be a surgeon. You should get surgeons to play this game. You get the people working on the Hubble telescope to play this game. This actually does test, but then again, the controls are kind of off, maybe because my emulator, then it wouldn't really be a good test of your, precision. Precision isn't really something you always get with emulators, and some people say emulators break the AI as well too, make the people they compete against not run as well. I've never really proven that to be the actual case, and I have done tests of real hardware where I play the game on real hardware and play it on the emulator and see if there's any difference. I haven't really confirmed there were any differences. We also seem to be making pancakes or something. I seem to be really good at making pancakes. I always get a perfect time when I make pancakes, or most of the time. Yeah, pancakes are really easy to make. Easier and faster. They just got those frozen ones you buy at the grocery store and make them in the microwave for 20 seconds. We put the pizza in what clearly looks like a microwave. Looks like we just made someone a martini or something like that, or some kind of martini-like food. We just had to shake it around, and that's it. It's like the game wants us to get a little cakewalk. Or that one little thing isn't a challenge at all. It's gonna boost your score pretty easy. Everyone in this game always only seems to order one dish, and always one dish. They never seem to order multiple dishes. Or more than one food item at a time. It's like, oh, that guy wants a drink, that guy wants an egg this, that guy wants a pizza, that guy... It's always just one thing. I guess because the game can only process one order per person, I'd imagine. There we go. All of them look like perfect 10s. They increased our score by quite a bit. There we go. Now we got to the part where we made it through the halfway point. There, the fat chef guy is going to be blabbing some crap about stuff like, oh, congratulations, you made it to the next level, or made it to the next part of the level. Then we're gonna take on the robot boy, the robot guy, the robot thing. Remember the 2000s when robot shows were big? Like My Life, the Teenage Robot, and then there was Robot Boy. Even Dexter's Laboratory had some robot stuff in it, and there were like robots in Wallace and Gromit. There was that movie Robots, and then there was the robots were everywhere in the 2000s. And people thought that by today we would have robots doing everything for us. That kind of seems like the case sometimes. Only they're not real robots. Most of our restaurants are run by illegal aliens. There might as well be robots since they just blindly do what they're told, and they're highly prone to failure. Robots are highly prone to failure too. Their technology would probably, fail in a short amount of time. I guess that's why we never truly adopted robots into our workforce. Everyone's ever attempted that before. I wonder how well that would go. There's also WALL-E in the 2000s too. Remember that robot from that Pixar movie, WALL-E? A lot of people seem to hate that movie, but I loved it. I loved it so much that I saw that movie twice when it was in theaters back in 2008. Just put the pizza back in the microwave oven. Looks like the microwave oven in Twisted Metal Small Brawl. I think there was also one of the Toy Story 2 video games, if I remember correctly. There's different types of pizzas you can make too. The pizzas are kind of like hit or miss. It actually is pretty easy once you figure out how you're supposed to chop it first. And then flick the analog control stick. That's the way of like making the dough. I always like to make dough the traditional way where you throw in the air and you like... I don't know if pizza chefs really make pizza like that anymore. It's kind of made in like some sort of factory conveyor belt or something like that. At least imagine frozen pizzas would. And we won, just like that. You see the robot fail. See what I was saying? Robots are likely to fail. The technology is flawed. And clearly his technology is flawed, which is why I beat him. If he claims to be such a superior thing, how come I beat him so easily? Okay, it took tons of attempts, but I edited out most of the attempts because most of them are just not that good. And the runtime would... This video would be well over an hour long if I showed all my failed attempts. So I edited out most of them. Now a robot's gonna be like yapping about how we just defeated him at the Italian restaurant. He deserves to get decommissioned. And the fat chef is gonna say more stuff to us. We're gonna save our game on the memory card. I never first saw that text in a video I saw a long time ago where a guy had a GameCube memory card and he wanted to save some data from some stupid Naruto game he bought from Japan. And what he didn't know is that GameCube memory cards have to be formatted for their region. They have to be formatted for the region that they play, and he didn't know he was formatting the memory card, and he lost all of his data. Because he modded his memory card so he could like play games of different regions. Yeah, GameCube memory cards are kind of a... GameCube's pretty good system. I don't think most people ever modded them to play games from other regions. Then again, I've never done any stuff like that before, so what am I saying? We're going to this next restaurant. It's run by a frog, an anthropomorphic frog. Is this like Doc Hopper's frog legs from that Muppet movie where that guy wanted to make a frog restaurant with allegedly using real frog meat? You know you can't make a profit off real frog meat. He just used bats. Bats are frogs of the cave. They're also chicken of the cave, too. They're everything of the cave. I think Champ's Chicken. I remember saying that Champ's Chicken place from Anchorman 2 is probably the funniest fake commercial I've ever seen in any movie ever. And this restaurant seems like a fake restaurant too. It's supposed to be like some sort of like English-themed restaurant. People there dress like Lord Farquaad or the kinds of people that live in Duloc. I imagine this restaurant would be set somewhere in Duloc. They have these people singing, "Duloc is the perfect place." And we have to use those boots to stomp something and flatten it. These boots were made for stomping, or these feet were made for stomping, and now they're gonna stomp all over you. Remember when Sideshow Bob saying that while he was making grapes or wine or something? You know, they crush grapes. They supposedly make wine by crushing grapes with your feet. I don't know if they do that in real life, but they did that on an episode of The Simpsons. We know The Simpsons is always right about everything. Everyone likes to simp for The Simpsons, right? I don't know what the hell this thing is, too. This type of hammer thing can hit your hand. It actually shows blood on it, too. I don't know what's happening here. I just raise my hand over it, and the sugar flies up. What, is he, like, using the force or something like that to get the sugar into my hand? Is it like, iron filings, maybe, and he's, like, Magneto and, like, lifting them up and trying to grab onto his hand or something like that? There's that big cabbage thing that we cut up, and we put in some sort of, like, empanada or something like that. One of those freezer-dried empanadas that you probably make at home in your oven. Or maybe it's like a Jamaican body mun. Remember Jamaican body muns? Yeah, I remember those were a popular dish everyone was going crazy over. I haven't really seen Jamaican food in the stores much anymore. I'm not gonna tell the obvious Jamaican jokes. They're just everywhere, all over the place. I mean, I don't think there was really a Jamaican restaurant in this game. I'm sure they have Jamaican food in Japan. I don't think there's any Jamaican restaurants in this game. There could have been, though, if they were to add more levels into it. Like a level based on pretty much every country of the world. Have to cook food everywhere. Like a World Tour game. You like Street Fighter 2, the World Tour, or Twisted Metal World Tour, or Ryouri World Tour, where you cook food from all over the world and make all sorts of food genres. Yeah, food genres. They range from snacks at the movie theater to the kinds of stuff you cook yourself in your own home. Even stuff as simple as breakfast cereal. You have to prepare breakfast cereal for everyone. You have to skin an apple too. Yeah, couldn't you just do that yourself? I would go to any schmuck, go to a grocery store and peel the skin off an apple and just, that's probably a lot cheaper too and a lot easier too. You go to this stupid restaurant. This is a pretty dumb restaurant. What the hell is that thing too? It's like a shin spinner thing, like that thing that someone would sit on. It'll make sound, and it's supposedly a musical instrument. And yeah, it's putting some sort of, I think it's like an ice machine maybe. And then it's like you're making a slushie, I think. I know what slushies have to do with the castle theme that this level has. You're playing music that sounds like it belongs in some sort of medieval castle venue. Maybe it's a restaurant at medieval times. Do they have medieval times in Japan? I went to a place kind of like that once, but it was some crappy building. Didn't have any heating or any air conditioning or anything, and they just make you act in a play. They even make you get on stage, and the play's a blatant ripoff of Shrek. Sounds like one of the biggest scams I've ever heard of. Sounds like someone wanted to make a quick buck off something. But let's just take this building, let's just call it the bootleg discount version of medieval times, and we'll attract everyone. It will sell like hotcakes. Yeah, bootlegs almost never outperform the original, unless it's Lego, because Lego sucks these days a lot of the time. The quality is really bad. The Lego minifigures frickin' crack every 10 seconds, and the Lego just downright breaks too. I'm making a video about that myth. The myth that old Lego minifigures never cracked. They do crack. They crack as much as newer ones do. It's always been a problem Lego has had. I know Lego's so frickin' expensive these days. $5,000 doesn't really get you much anymore in the world of Lego. As times have changed. Everyone used to love Lego, and now people seem to hate it now. It's like the opposite of the Star Wars sequel effect, where everyone used to hate something and now they love it, and then there's something that used to be loved, and now people hate it. I don't think this game would ever be an example of that, because almost no one seems to know about this game. I wonder how successful this game was in Japan. Was it more successful? I mean, obviously this game only came out in Japan, so you can't really compare it to how it would be in America. I don't think this game would have done well in America. It's very hard, and it's overly Japanese. I'm sure they could have tried to make it more American-like, localize it, but I think if they localize this game, it would lose a lot of its charm. What gives this game its charm? What makes this game fun is the fact that it's very Japanese and very, great way to learn about Japan. The whole Japanese glory. I think that'd be lost in translation if they localize this for America. Maybe it's better it stays in Japan. Some things are just meant to be left in Japan. If you want to play this game in America, just go get an emulator and a controller that can be used to play this game. That's probably a lot cheaper than buying a real copy of this game these days, and a real Japanese PlayStation these days. And I'm just using the controller I made by GameSir, and I just heard that GameSir is pretty soon gonna stop making real physical controllers, and they just use a new digital technology that sends the controller to your computer, and using this new quantum psionic technology, it interacts with your brain. Your brain tells the controller exactly what to do, and the controller does it in the game. Of course, that was all just a big joke on Instagram, which is supposed to be in response to Sony not making physical games anymore, and this is the death of video games as we know it. And again, I never really cared about newer modern games anyways, and gaming's likely going to become a dead trend, a dead interest, a dead industry anyways in the future, so what difference does it make? What does it matter to me? I never really cared about newer games. Some people don't even consider these things that play to be games. They consider them just be interactive movies. Just watching a movie and you interact with the screen. Sounds like pretty much any other video game ever. Yeah, it's quite a shame how many people don't have respect for the old games, the retro games. They often are better than newer games. They always have been, and they always will be. I always knew that. I knew that back in 2007, and I still know that today. It's quite amazing how much has changed since 2007, and yet so much still remains the same as well, too. Yeah, and those apple things are kind of hard to figure out. You have to, like, really, like, flick it. You have to kind of, like, flick it faster and move really fast to get the apple. If you do it slowly, it's gonna, cancel out, and the guy's gonna say, "You messed up my order." You have to do like that, like a rapid thing. Almost giving you carpal tunnel or something like that. Still not exactly sure how to get this. Okay, you just want to pour a little bit of the flavoring. You don't want to pour too much. I guess that's what it is. I don't know. You have to guess a lot if you play this game. It's very confusing sometimes as to what you're really supposed to do. It's very unclear a lot of the time, too. Yeah, I never really got a lot of this stuff. I don't think I ever will. And yet, somehow, I still managed to beat this game. So I guess that doesn't really matter then. If you could figure out how to beat a game, then I don't think not figuring out is... I don't even know if that is worth stopping on. Did you actually use boots? Is that a real cooking tool? He just grabbed boots? Sounds like something Mr. Bean would do. Like when he took the cleaver out to cut up the bits of the tree to give to Hubert and Rupert. And I think they found out that it figured out that he did that, and that's why they set his clock ahead a few hours so he would go to sleep before midnight so they could leave and go to the party. Oh yeah, well, how did I just make two classic Mr. Bean references in one video? I don't know. I must be really running out of stuff to yap about if I'm talking about Mr. Bean. I mean, a lot of people still like Mr. Bean these days. He was big in Japan. Wallace and Gromit were also big in Japan, too. At least I think they were. There we go, yeah, this is just going to be dragging on for eons. And this video just be going on way too long. We'll finish this level in the next video. Ray Phoenix, signing out.